All right, y'all. More craziness. This election is getting wild, y'all. It's almost 30 days, less than a month and a half to the election. And we got some breaking news that dropped today. It is getting crazy out here, y'all. We're going to get to this news here in just a second. I want y'all to tap in, let everybody know. Y'all can leave comments, questions, suggestions, all of that. But y'all, this is getting crazy. This election is one of the most wildest elections that I can remember in my lifetime. So we are taking a look at everything and watching how it goes. As y'all know, we had the vice presidential debate yesterday, and people are split as far as saying who won. A lot of people are saying that Vance told a lot of lies. A lot of people are saying that Waltz is not an interviewing or a debate type person, so he didn't do as well as they would like to do. But nobody, they're saying, made any of their candidates look bad, and I guess that's the whole thing of the vice presidential debate is just not make anything worse. Go in there, answer your questions, look presidential, vice presidential, and get the fuck up out of there, right? So, but just before the debate happened, we got some breaking news. Jack, if you guys don't know who Jack is the person who's prosecuting Donald Trump for, now we know, crimes that happened before January 6th. And all this happened and dropped right before the presidential election. If you guys can remember, like me, when news like this happened when Hillary Clinton was running for president, it kind of threw her presidential run off and cost her the election. Now, will this happen to President Trump? I have no idea. Vice or former President Trump, I have no idea, because there's a lot of things that happen with President Trump and nothing seems to happen. Nothing seems to persuade people. They're still on the same page. But this is very, very heavy news that just dropped just recently about former President Donald Trump, who is now accused of committing crimes, which I don't understand why. I just don't understand how he's not disqualified for trying to overthrow the government. But yet still, we're here today, which President Trump could be very well the next president of the United States, even though it's being revealed today that he committed crimes. We got some video. We're going to show this video. I want y'all to pay attention and take a look at this before you make up your mind.
Drama in the document and the narrative arc of it, specifically the pressure on Pence, which comes through in the January 6th committee report a bit, and is really a focus here that, on January 5th, the defendant told Pence, I think you have the power to decertify. When Pence was unmoved, the defendant threatened to criticize him publicly, which again, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We know what that means. I'm going to have to say you did a great disservice. And then this timing with it, it's possible, again, it's easy to lose track of what has been entered into the public record and what hasn't, Rachel, but this timing of that tweet, and we played you, I think that's Nick Fuentes, the notorious Nazi who dined with the president in the Bullhorn, reading out about Pence not doing what he's called to do. At 2:24 p.m., Trump was alone in the dining room when he issued a tweet attacking Pence and fueling the ongoing riot. Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones, which they were asked to previously certify. USA demands the truth. And then, Jack Smith writes, 1 minute later, at 2:25 p.m., the Secret Service was forced to evacuate Pence to a secure location. Rachel, it doesn't quite say cause and effect, but it just lays the cause and the effect right there next to each other in adjacent sentences.
There's so much detail that they are presenting about that tweet and the context of it. They go to great lengths and great detail to explain that Trump was alone in the dining room off the Oval Office when he sent it. They go to great lengths to say that, yes, there was another staffer who did have was sort of cleared to tweet in Trump's name, but he did not do that tweet. They go to great lengths to show that at the time that Trump sent that tweet, while he was alone and nobody else was there, it was definitely him who did it. He was both watching Fox News, which had already reported at that point and was continually reporting that the Capitol had been breached, that the rioters had made their way inside Congress where Mike Pence was. He was also watching Twitter where it was being reported in real time. I mean, they are saying, they go through all of those details, like it was him and this is what he knew when he did it. And then they establish, you know, some of the other things that he tweeted around the election and around January 6th, arguably under the Supreme Court's rules around these things could be construed as official actions. When he did send statements in a sort of milquetoast way that said people should go home in peace and love, that was a kind of presidential thing to do. He was acting on the institutional interest of the U.S. government.
Presidential-ish.
But when he said Mike Pence, yes, but when he said Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what needed to be done, there's nothing presidential about it. There is no way that this could be construed as doing anything other than advancing his personal, private, criminal interest in that moment. They just cover every single angle of it in a way that it just feels like a straitjacket.
There's also something, I mean, you made this mention before, Rachel, I mean, and we were sitting together, Lawrence, on the day of that immunity, both oral arguments and decision. You know, this effort basically, a largely successful effort in certain ways, aided by the Supreme Court, right, to make all this just disappear down the memory hole. Right? As we sit here 34 days from an election in which we all know, everyone who covers this, everyone in politics, Democrat, Republican, across the ideological spectrum, understands that he's going to try to do the same thing again. That's obviously a certainty, right? And so this part, which seemed relevant today, and particularly relevant after at your very funny line last night about J.D. Vance being the first vice presidential nominee not to know who won the previous election. The defendant and his co-conspirators also demonstrated their deliberate disregard for the truth when they repeatedly changed the numbers. I love this. Changed the numbers in their baseless fraud allegations from day to day. The conspirators started with the allegation that 36,000 non-citizens voted in Arizona. 5 days later, it was beyond credulity that a few 100,000 didn't vote. 3 weeks later, the bare minimum was 40 or 50,000.
So the timing of this, less than 24 hours after we saw J.D. Vance on the debate stage, unable to answer the question of did Donald Trump lose the election, and J.D. Vance having publicly already said he would not have done what Mike Pence did. He would have done exactly. Donald Trump would only have to ask him once.
Yeah.
In fact, might not even have to ask him.
He might do it proactively.
Yeah,
yes.
Right. And then for this document to emerge today, where the star of today's document is Mike Pence, because he hasn't been in anything else we've been able to read. So this really is Mike Pence's moment in this story today. And every single step of this story that Mike Pence is in, Mike Pence is doing and saying the right thing every time. He's saying and doing what he was elected to do, what his oath of office told him to do, which is when Donald Trump says to him, you really should do this, every single time, he says no, every single time.
Against interest and, of course, against the political pressure. Rachel.
I just wanted to jump in there.
So that's, if you're just now tuning in, this breaking news just now that they uncovered crimes that happened on January 6th by former President Donald Trump. And this is about to get juicy. The story just broke less than 24 hours after the vice presidential debate. So we will be tapping into this, and we will keep y'all informed in what's going on and what's happening. Once again, my name is Johnny, and this is Live with Johnny. Thank y'all for watching.